It's an honor and a pleasure to be here this morning to address you at this auspicious gathering. While considering this presentation, I pondered the traditions that produce this ceremony. The words usually spoken are of a patriot's collected thoughts and views of our nation, but they only speak to what mortal man sees. In a recent vision, I had a conversation with our flag. I asked it where it came from and what it stood for. And here's what it told me. It said, "Much has been written about me throughout the history of our country, and yet none have asked me what I see and what I am. My name is Old Glory. Sometimes I'm called the Stars and Stripes, or the Star-Spangled Banner, the standard and symbol that shouts out, freedom is everybody's job. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over institutions of learning. I stand guard as a symbol of power to promote peace in the world. Look up and see me. I am a symbol of the divine and inalienable right of all people that life, liberty, happiness, and peace are endowed by our Creator. I stand for honor, truth, all that is noble, and, most importantly, I stand for justice as the world has never seen it before my coming. I stand for freedom, a beacon to freedom to a freedom-starved world. I am confident because tempest-tossed patriots have given this to me. I am arrogant with justification, for I am unique in the history of the world. I am proud, for the men and women of my military have made me thus. When I am with my athletes as they triumph at the Olympics, I am flown with my fellow banders and those other flags. My head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one, save when weak-kneed political correctness invades reality and history. I am recognized all over the world by friends and enemies alike. I am worshiped, I am saluted, I am loved, I am revered, I am respected, and I am feared by tyrants and the enemies of liberty. In that I take great pride, for it is my goal to make them tremble. I have carried forward in every battle of every war of my country for more than 230 years, leading the way toward peace, freedom, and justice. In my infancy, I was there at the crossing of the ice-swollen Delaware River with General Washington on Christmas night in 1776, when he went and took Trenton from a superior Hessian force, mercenaries of a despotic king. And at Valley Forge in the cold dead of winter, while politicians dithered and citizen soldier patriots starved and froze, I was there. I was with General Andrew Jackson, Old Hickory, in the War of 1812, in his stunning victory in New Orleans at the Battle of Chalmette against an overwhelming force of the best trained and equipped army in the world. Again, I was there at Gettysburg, Shiloh, and Appomattox Courthouse, where a great and tragic war between my brothers and sisters finally ended. I was there in 1898 as Commodore Dewey charged headlong into the Battle of Manila Bay in the Philippines, and at the charge up San Juan and Kettle Hills in Cuba, as the Rough Riders and Black Jack Pershing's 10th Cavalry took the ground and made me known as an emerging world power. In the trenches of France in 1918, some tried to trample me into the mud, but in Belleau Wood, Flanders Field, and then in the Argonne Forest, I raised up my colors and I led the way. In the deserts of North Africa against Field Marshal Rommel, at Anzio, and on the beaches of Normandy, I went ashore with brave men. At the Battle of the Bulge in Bastogne, in the dead of winter, I was there with my surrounded yet stubborn and tenacious 101st Airborne Division when General McAuliffe barked a defiant refusal to surrender to the German commander. Nuts! In the Pacific, I was island hopping from Guadalcanal to Tarawa, Guam, and Saipan. I landed with MacArthur when he retook the Philippines. On the volcanic island of Iwo Jima, where my Marines raised me for the entire world to see in all my resplendent glory, and on that high mount of Suribachi, I flew majestically as an icon of liberty. And I was there at bloody Okinawa, where the kamikazes hurled their planes into my ships in a fit of crazed desperation. There I draped the mortal remains of my brave sailors and committed their bodies to the sea. I was there on the battleship Missouri when General MacArthur accepted the surrender of a mortal enemy in Tokyo Bay that ended a terrible and devastating world war. Again, I was with MacArthur when he surprised our enemies at the impossible landing of Incheon in Korea, after the communist North tried to conquer a free and democratic country. And in the frozen wastes of North Korea at the Chosin Reservoir, my Marines knew me and forged on in the face of overwhelming odds with valor and dignity against the onslaught of a communist horde. They made me prouder still. I was on the wings of the new age of jet fighters as my new Air Force swept the skies of enemy MiGs. I was there with my Army at Pork Chop Hill, proving once again my steadfast resolve to stand firm against enemy aggression and slavery. Vietnam knows me in places like the Ah Sha Valley, the siege at Khe Sanh, the Tet Offensive, at Saigon, in Cambodia and Laos, and then in Udon Province in Thailand. I was there. In the Hanoi Hilton, my men remembered me by giving me a rebirth, by making me from scraps. And I love them for their resolute devotion and patriotism and devotion to duty, to each other, against unbelievable cruelty, against all odds of ever seeing home again. I have slipped the surly bonds of earth, soared into space, and stand fast even now on our moon where the astronauts of Apollo 11 placed me. And I stand watch over the uncharted frontiers of space from my vantage point there at Tranquility Base on our moon. I was with Stormin Norman Schwarzkopf in the first Gulf War when he utterly defeated the largest army in the Middle East in just 3 days. I was atop the World Trade Center on September 11th of 2001 when insane, cowards murdered thousands of my family. But my firemen took me back to my place of honor above the rubble. Now, I am a shrine to the courage and fortitude of my people in New York City, at the Pentagon, and all around this great land of ours. I was there, painted on the tail section of Flight 93, when brave men, Americans, refused to let terrorists murder more of my family and stormed the cockpit with the battle cry, "Let's roll." After that terrible day, I have seen a resurgence of my colors displayed, a resurgence of patriotism, the very thing that breathes life into me. I have crossed the barren and trackless deserts and rugged mountains of Iraq and Afghanistan in hot pursuit of the enemies of civilization, the cowardly terrorists of the current age of ignorance and fanaticism. I led my troops whenever I was called, however I was called. I was dirty, battle-worn, bullet-riddled, and tired, but my soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines cheered me. And I was proud when they raised me high in Baghdad over the fallen statue of an insane despot. These courageous men and women who carry me ever onward always bring tears to the eyes of my people out of pure joy and pride in my military's dedication, devotion to duty under trying adversities. I have been burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries I have helped to set free. It does not hurt. I'm invincible. I have been soiled upon, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country. Why, then, would my own people do this to me? When Congress has stated, the flag represents a living country and itself is considered a living thing. And I am. And when it's by those whom I have served in battle to defend, to protect their rights and freedoms, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have borne silent witness to all of America's finest hours. But my finest hours are yet to come, for I am the resilient defender of liberty and the universal freedoms of a yearning mass of freedom-longing people. Wherever in the world they are huddled in the face of tyranny and adversity, dreaming of a day when they can call themselves Americans and hold me to their breast. When I am torn into strips and used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the battlefield, I am at my best, for I'm returning to the very blood that made me. When I am flown at half-mast to honor my fallen men and women, or when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving parent or spouse at the grave of their fallen son, daughter, husband, or wife, father or mother, I am both sad and proud. Too many are the ones who, while not yet American citizens, have joined the ranks of my military and paid the highest sacrifice just for the opportunity to fight for the privilege to become Americans. For those of them who have fallen for me, they have known the greatest of triumphs and now rest in the arms of both of a grateful nation and our loving God. As our history has shown, liberty must be rewon with every generation, for the forces of tyranny are always trying to steal it from us. And I leave you with this. Do not try not to lose. Strive to win, no matter what the cost. For if you are not prepared to give everything, you may well lose everything. And if you, my family, who have given me all of your love, loyalty, and devotion, loses freedom, history will never know that we were ever here, and that we once brought mankind a brief time of hope for civilization. And remember this, in all of your struggles to protect and maintain liberty, I will be there with you. By this steadfast dedication, you do me and yourselves honor and instill all of us with a true nobility and virtue unmatched anywhere in the world. My name is Old Glory, the flag of our republic. Long may I wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. I am the flag, the standard of the United States of America.